With that, guys, we're going to round out the show talking about the ever evolving coaching carousel in college football. Just over this weekend alone, three head coaches were let go. Oregon State go of their head coach. Trent Dilford is let go at UAB. And the biggest one is James Franklin being fired at Penn State, right? Um, to some, this is a shocker. To some, it's like it was more than warranted. To some people, it was the perfect time. Um, this is very interesting because the conversation is now. 2 weeks ago, this was a top five team. College game day pulled up looking like the new edition in all white. Had him all set. It was all a dream, right? 15, 16 days ago, he was on top of the world. And now he's unemployed. He's very rich and unemployed. He's straight. Don't get rid of because what his buyout like $50 million. I saw that. I was like, $50 million. Who do they think they fired? Chelsea Clinton? Like, boy, my God.
Yo. Can you imagine being fired for $50 million? Just to chill?
What Coach O said when he got let go, he said, what door you want me to go out and what time you want me to leave? Boy. But we pay in mind, Elijah, like, when is the time to fire a coach now? Because in college football, really, really in all levels of football, as we look at it, bro, you really don't have that big of a window to start turning something around. They want you to be Kirk Cignetti. Come in here, flip it around, get us in the college football playoff, make this a whole new program in 1 year. Like, how do you feel? When is the time to fire a head coach? And then kind of piggybacking off of that, do you believe that it was the right time for James Franklin to go?
Yeah, because I ain't gonna lie to you. When we text on Saturday. I want to show y'all the text between me and Fitz. I said, James Franklin will be selling Black and Miles at the Blue Store next week. I said that because you gave UCLA their first win. I mean, the loss to Oregon, that's a wash and wash. But that's what that was saying that you can't win the big games. And that's what the narrative was the whole time. But then you go lose to UCLA, and then last week you lose like Northwestern. Dog, like I don't care if Drew Allen was back there or not. You don't lose to Northwestern. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody you just skate through. And I felt like they was ready to turn the page because James Franklin is a really good coach. But at a certain time, you're going to be tired of just knocking on the door, knocking on the door. You want to go in one day. Somebody want to go in. You're not going to. I don't want to keep knocking on the door. And I'm paying you all this money. We're getting all these recruits that we are thinking that they're great. And of course, you got guys listed in that's coming in next year. That's 5-star, 4-star, 3-star, however. And we keep knocking at the door. That's frustrating. That's frustrating. And as a fan base and as an organization, as a school program, whatever you want to be labeled as, it's frustrating because you're paying all this money. Now, if James Franklin was making $30 an hour, all right, we could keep knocking on the door. I don't mind it because we're not paying him nothing. But we fired you for $50 million and telling you we like dog, we paying you a lot of money and we paying you to win a national championship. Now you first of all, you didn't win the Big Ten. You got me close last year. You got me to the semifinal round. Appreciate you. Love you. But you don't get me to the point where our fans are going to be appreciative of winning a national championship. That is always the goal. Now, I'm not saying it's hard. That is hard to do. There is very hard to do. Win a national championship, Super Bowl, NBA finals, the World Series, whatever. That is hard to do is win anything like that. But at the same time, you can't just keep giving me uh, my favorite snack and taking it away. Like, what's that commercial where they had $1? Like, you thought you had it? No, you don't. No, you don't. That's what it felt like for Penn State fans. So that's where it's at with that. And I just think that I seen the writing on the wall for James Franklin. It's embarrassing because you lost to those two schools. But I just think that there's not a right time to fire a coach ever, in my mind, unless maybe in the off season because he's already off. But other than that, I just feel like James Franklin Wright was on the wall after that Northwestern State game, and I wasn't surprised at all. I just think that Penn State's kind of probably going to a direction of trying to find like a legendary coach. Who knows? They'll probably throw a bag in Nick Saban. I'm not saying Nick Saban will come back, but They'll try to find somebody that's already established and that they think could take them to the next level because knocking on the door is not good enough for the Nittany Lions.
Coaching candidates right now, the highest odds is Nebraska head coach Matt Rule, which sure, but I mean, what has he won a championship? Like this goes into the conversation, man. Like people sometimes don't understand how difficult it is to win something. To put together, bro, like sometimes it's almost lightning in a bottle. You have to have a good defense, a competent offense. Special teams has to be clicking. Everything has to go well, and then you still have to have other factors outside of things. Like sometimes somebody's starting quarterback has to be hurt. Like there have to be so many factors that go into winning a championship. I get it. James Franklin has not won the big games, but he has won. I think he had 104 and 45 record in his time at Penn State in the 12 seasons that he was 11 and a quarter seasons, 11 and a half seasons that he was the head coach. Out of those 11 and a half seasons, 6 of them were winning seasons. I get it. He didn't won the Big 12, but I think, or Big 10, it just one time. But it's hard, man. It's hard. It just goes to show you that the time clock on college football is way, way faster than ever before. But I think sometimes, and we've had conversations with assistant coaches offline about how do you people are looking at it, boosters and people that are investing in the program are saying, do you want to, and as we're saying this, a Penn State 4-star commit reopens his recruitment. So, in real time, you lose your coach and people are decommitting. So now it's like, who are you going to bring in right now that can get back on the trail and start recruiting and saying, hey, if you stay and come here, we're going to flip this thing around next season. It's hard to do that, bro, because in a time where you had a transfer portal, you have NIL, it's hard to do. It's hard to maintain a roster where you can go and recruit a kid out of high school and keep him 3 to 4 years. Because if you bring a kid in now and you redshirt him, he finna hit the portal. I ain't come here to redshirt. I came here to make money and play football. Put me on the field. And most of the time, these kids are 16, 17, 18 years old making these decisions. They don't know that instead of going to Penn State out of high school sometime, you might need to go to a G5. So you could go ahead and play. If you weren't trying to play right away, they're not always making the best decision because their mind ain't even fully developed. You feel me? But this goes to show that if you are not doing your job, they will find the money to make you leave. So Billy Napier and Kelly, the ones that your seat warming up, let this be a full-blown wake-up call that they don't care. They're going to find the money. They're going to find the money. But like I was, mentioning, a lot of schools are in a situation now where they're looking at, do we take this $50 million and put it towards rev sharing and paying these players and all this stuff like that? Or do we want to get this dude up out of here? So for them to take that money and get rid of James Franklin to get him to leave $50 million, there had to be some form of a disconnect within the locker room, within the organization itself, within the athletic department for them to say, we don't want this dude around here no more. We don't care how much he wins. That means they just don't like you no more. They getting you up out of here because they don't like you no more. And winning championships shuts a lot of people up. I think shout out to my guy Thomas Perpetu. He got the job over in Tulsa, and we were having a conversation about coaches and whether they will keep you around, how long they'll keep you around. He was like, as a coach, you can either be good and unliked, or you can be liked and not good, but you can't be both. You can't be not good and not liked. They're gonna get you up out of there. Like you gotta win. You either gotta be really, really loved for them to keep you around, or you gotta be really, really good and winning. And obviously, they didn't like it. Because if you winning and they don't like you, and they go and they pot and say, let me get $50 million to send you home. That says a lot, man. It says a lot. So the clock is ticking on all these coaches that are on the hot seat. The clock is ticking. If you ain't doing your job, if you ain't winning no championships, if you ain't winning the big games, hey, brother, start looking because you're going to get that pink slip. But that's just our take, ladies and gentlemen. Put yours down in the comments. What do you think? Was it right for Penn State to get rid of James Franklin? How do you feel about the coaching carousel moving as fastly as it is? And who are some people that you think could potentially be the replacement for James Franklin there at Penn State? We'll see. We'll see.
Give me the job for $25 million. So I'll go take half of it.
$25 million. Hey, I start drawing plays in the sand. All right, we're gonna run this post. You gonna run this post, boy. We gonna find a way. We're gonna win something. We're gonna beat Oregon. We're gonna find a way. We're gonna find a way for that 25, 50. Boy, man, the amount of money they paying these coaches now, you gotta find a way to win. You have to. You have to. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to conclude another episode of the Fitz Take Podcast. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you've made it this far in the video, please hit the bell down below and subscribe so you know when we will drop our next episode. If you're listening, subscribe to the podcast feed wherever you get your podcast from so you know when we drop our next episode. And we will continue to put out the great content that we are talking about all things in the sports world as baseball and all that stuff is continuing to rave on. NBA season is about to start. We're going to be closer to the World Series. Shout out to the Las Vegas Aces for sweeping and winning the WNBA championship, their third in the last 4 years, and A'ja Wilson cementing herself as the greatest women's basketball player of all time, in my opinion. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother episode. So for now, guys, signing out for Elijah Nixon, I'm Jamarcus Fitzpatrick. We'll see you guys next time.